Hi, everyone. We're coming on. Camille Passard and I are here to talk today about how to embody CEO energy and how that's the pathway to stepping into multi five-figure months. Now, we had a little hiccup getting started with the tech. Sorry, we're coming on a little late. It was probably something on my end. So thanks for your patience. As we're live here today, feel free to share in the comments. We'd love to hear your feedback and your questions. We're really excited to be talking about this topic. So, Camille, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm just so excited that we're finally together to have this conversation.
Absolutely. So I want to introduce Camille. Camille is a wealth and business coach. She mentors highly driven coaches and visionary leaders towards their most sacred and empowered expression of success. So she is here to lead a financial revolution. I love that. Because you do for women all over the world, create a ripple effect of abundance while serving the collective, the big vision, the big goals. So we're going to talk about what does it truly mean to be the CEO of your business. You've really gone through this journey in the last year, Camille, being a client in Bold Vision Circle. You're just completing that. You actually went through my Quantum Leap program before that as well. And it's been just so fabulous to see your growth and all the different steps you've taken, both practically and internally, to get to this level. So let's start with the really practical of like really starting to act like a CEO of your business. What did the practical steps look like for you?
Well, first I had to create an emergency LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was literally quantum leaping and I was growing at such a fast pace that eventually I was moving. I could see like the French threshold approaching, and I knew that I had to take the next step, and it felt like a lot, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like, dealing with not the problems, but all the things that comes with your success, and that many people, get to take care of that at a slow pace, and it's kind of like, and in my case, it wasn't. So
yes.
I
love that. And it's funny how you said kind of an emergency LLC, right? Like you had to get the financial structures and tax structures and things like that in place pretty quickly because you had such rapid growth. And, this is actually what holds a lot of women back, is because they think, I don't know all that stuff, and I don't know, who do I trust to help me manage, setting up these business structures, for a more, serious business. And there's a lot of things they don't know. And, I love how you just like went right in on this and said, I'm going to act as if, right, that I'm, $100,000 and beyond business, because you were rapidly approaching that and have far exceeded that already. Just really setting up the practical things. And sometimes those aren't the fun things. Those aren't the sexy things, especially when you're a visionary like you are, but you hired support. Tell us a little bit about what that looked like and not doing it all yourself.
Yes. Well, the first thing I would love to emphasize here is that the most important thing is to trust yourself.
Love that. Yes.
It's kind of like trust yourself that you're going to make the right moves at the right time, and you're going to find the right people to support you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a big one, right? Because if you don't have that self-trust, you're going to sort of, have wobbles about hiring people in the future as well. So it's self-trust and then trusting others. And then it comes back to self-trust again. It's like, well, if this person isn't supporting me in the way that I need, or, isn't answering questions, or, isn't a good match, that I can let them go too. That's a big part of this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And for me, it was also a shift in perception. Because I was at this stage where I knew I had to let go of the control, and I knew I needed the support. And I had, all those responsibilities that come with this type of growth, this kind of growth. Mm-hmm. And instead, it's shifting it into, it's not a burden. It's actually an honor.
Yes, what a great reframe. I love that because, it is with, as your income goes up, there are more things practically, that you need to pay attention to and make sure you're doing your accounting properly and taxes. And for you, then you had to start, paying VAT taxes, and which means, there's a whole lot around taxes. And some people, and I've heard people who live in Europe actually say, oh, I want to keep my income level down here because I don't want to have to deal with all of that.
Yes, that's a huge one. And I see it with many of my clients. And I know that they're blocking the flow of money coming in because they're just afraid to deal with it. And I think it's a trust issue.
It is.
Because you need to trust yourself around the choices you make with money and feeling empowered around the choices you make with money. And for me, I've made mistakes, but fortunately I hired the right support at the right time. And because I had grown so much in my money mindset and the level of possibilities that I knew life could meet me at, I was just able to let go. I was like, okay, this is the cost of rapid growth.
Yes.
And I'm going to feel okay about this.
Oh, that's huge. And, to know there's also this trust and knowing that I'm going to keep growing my income, as some of your expenses go up and you pay more taxes and you pay more team, that you just really be in this place of like, this is happening. I'm growing. I'm expanding. So yeah, I have to climb this little hill and pay more taxes and, get some more support and services and structures in place. Yeah. But this is just, a little hill and then I'm going to keep going up the mountain, and really being in faith and trust around that. Now, for you, moving into 5-figure months, so rapidly, it was like a new way of being for you too, right? Like allowing yourself to receive that. What was that like the first time you had a 5-figure month? What did that feel like internally? Did it feel like, amazing, but, oh, can I repeat this? Can I do this again? Those are some of the common ones.
Yeah, I remember the very first fear I got right after was, shit, can I make this happen again?
Right? And then you might feel like, oh, well, I'll feel like a failure if I can't repeat this or sustain this. And the truth is, the first time you hit a 5-figure month, very few people sustain at that level month after month after month. It's usually, if you would look at my income trajectory, it's like here, 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 here. But the trend is always upward, right? And it just depends on your focus and just allowing it to flow. I think you've done a wonderful job of just allowing it to flow month to month. And some months you were focused on other things and it wasn't client generation.
Yes. And I wasn't worried. So this is what was different for me because this year was a huge year of structuring many things in my business.
Yes.
Structuring as a company. And, structuring how I lead my team, how I show up for my team, how I delegate things to my assistant, I was able to take almost a month off on vacation in August. Yeah. And being completely offline, and just have my assistant, deal with everything, responding to DMs. While I was, swimming in the Mediterranean and just the best there is in the south of France.
Right.
And for me, not worrying around, okay, this is what's happening in the present, but I know the level of possibilities. I know what's available.
Yeah. And what the normal MO is, this is our programming, right? Of that we have to work all the time and we have to keep at it if we're going to sustain it. When we have this worry and fear and don't have this baseline of self-trust and even just bigger trust in our purpose and, where we're headed and what we're meant to be doing in the world. You could be in the ocean, but your mind be somewhere else, right? You could be in worry and stress and fear and not be able to be fully present. Like we talked about in the title of this interview about really embodying that CEO energy so you can be at those 5-figure months, but not just be there, but be there in a space of enjoying, being able to enjoy life, being able to relax, being able to let go when it's appropriate. What did that look like for you? And I know that included a surfboard sometimes too. Tell us about that, the flow of your day and how you stay in that good place.
There's so many layers to this conversation.
Yeah.
Surfing is definitely one of those. So I spend a lot of time in nature every day. And I actually consider myself part of nature.
Wow.
So it's really important for me not to be hooked on like social media all day and on my phone all day.
Yeah.
And that's why I talk about expression of success, because this is my personal expression of success, being able to set my hours, set my coaching space, depending on the tide, because
right. I love that. Like, you set your boundaries and your standards and your calendar according to the tides. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, like to give yourself that permission is huge. Us as women, we don't do that well. That's why we're having this conversation, so more women can give themselves permission to do that.
And it's kind of reverse engineering, because when you start as a business owner, you think, you have to go, do, and it's actually the other way around. Like, you start with your lifestyle and what you need to feel good. And from this place, you serve your clients, you nurture your community. And if you cannot show up in that energy, you're not going to be showing up in leadership, because you're not leading yourself.
Exactly. Oh, that's so well stated. You have to be leading yourself in this journey. You can't just, we think, there's conventional wisdom out there. Like, there's this income level where you arrive and all of that goes away. No, it doesn't. Sometimes it's even amplified the more money you're making. Sometimes there can be more pressure to maintain it and to keep going and have to keep growing and not really allowing yourself this permission to. I know women who set their some of our Bold Vision Circle clients that you're a part of, who set their calendars according to their menstrual cycle or the moon cycles or their family cycles. This is you get to be not just the CEO of your business from a practical standpoint, but get to be the CEO of your whole life and make it work for you in a way that's really fuels your soul, right? That's what makes it sustainable. I wanted to say hello to Camille, to Tracy and Jennifer. Thanks for joining us, and please put your comments and thoughts as you're watching, or you can put replay in the comments, because this recording will be in the group, and Camille and I will be able to see it. Would you be able to share a bit, Camille, about how being in Bold Vision Circle really made this possible for you to really fully anchor all this in and embody this for the long term?
Well, first of all, it's not what I want to say is it's not any mastermind space out there. It's actually, it's really a community. It's actually a circle, and you're invited to show up in full leadership in this circle, not to consume content, not to take from others, but really to be a part of this community and to hold each other accountable, hold each other energetically and emotionally, and you get to be met at this level.
Yes.
Right? Like, even when you think, some of those days, you think you don't belong there, or who do you think you are?
Right.
Actually, you chose to be there. Yeah. And so it's a decision, to be met at this level, in this level of conversations. And what I love about Bold Vision Circle is it's not only about strategy. We don't compartmentalize growth. We
right.
get to talk about leadership moves that are happening in our personal lives.
Yes.
And how this emotional labor relates to our business.
Yeah.
And how we get to flow with that, with that energy, and just it into our growth, into our expression of success.
Absolutely. And it's a 9-month container, because you really do need that time and space to really go through different levels of growth and, be supported with me. Bold Vision Circle clients are my one-to-one clients, private clients, as well as access to my other coaches who are supporting you, social media, copywriting, mindset, just very holistically supported. So we're helping you just to rise. And it's not just like masterminding strategies,
Well, you really get to ask for what you need, because I spent more time with some of the support coaches and less with others. And it was just perfect for me because it was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
And I needed. And of course, having you in our corner, like whenever we need support around a specific thing, or we just want your eyes on something, or we just want to have a conversation, and be accountable.
Absolutely. You and I have had a lot of great Facebook messages back and forth, voice messages. And just, when you need a little spot coaching or a little like, what do you think I should do in this scenario? Or, oh, I'm feeling a little blocked about this, and just those on spot conversations. I love it. Just lights my heart up to see you all grow and shine. And we're going to talk in a minute a bit more about the inner growth and what that looks like. But for those of you who are close to six figures, this year, I'm going to invite you, or if you finish my Quantum Leap program, I'm going to invite you to reach out to me about this, as unfortunately, we keep it small, but we do have a few finishing up, Camille included, but lots of other women in there. Actually, not lots. We keep it small. Other women in there with the same sort of energy and these same sort of conversations that we're having there. Now, go ahead.
Just one thing I want to share is that being in Bold Vision Circle was not only about growing my business and growing my income. It was like coming home to myself and just meeting my soul family, and I've shared this with you before. I've shared this with the group yesterday when I said goodbye, and it was so intense because I got to be in the rooms where we were having those conversations.
Yeah. Wow. Now you're getting to me. Because I know for those of you, who are coaches or any type of service-based, entrepreneur, you love the people you serve and you want the best for them, and, you want to create those spaces where they can grow and thrive. And it's so, thank you for reflecting that back, that's truly what this kind of space that I want to create.
But it's true. I mean, you deserve all of that. And because you bring together those amazing people and you vet them very strongly so that they're a right fit in this space, right?
I do. It's not for everyone. And I will invite someone who does not have that energetic fit. You're exactly right. That's part of growth too, is having those boundaries and standards, and, who you work with and who you don't, and being really clear on that. I know you're very clear on that as well. So for you, from an embodiment perspective, we talked about, being in nature and all of that. What were some of your mindset practices? Any things that you'd like to share that helped you when it came to, receiving a lot more money, and things just moving forward really quickly? Any other practices or things that you did on a regular basis to really keep yourself in that receiving energy?
Yeah. So there are several things. The first thing being create movement and clearing out the clutter, So this can be like actual clutter in your home.
Sure. Yes.
I remember when I joined Quantum Leap and I had my first 5-figure month, which this is not what your program is initially.
Right. You were kind of an outlier in that way. Usually at Quantum Leap, we don't. Some do. A few do hit their first 5-figure month. But it was like, wow, that was amazing, and I was so excited for you.
But I cleared out so much clutter, and even like old clothes. And I decided that I was moving from this old identity to the new one, and so I couldn't be in between.
Yes.
So this was me burning some of my energetic bridges, and then the second one. This is so important. This is something I work with my clients all the time. Not being afraid of creating intimacy around money. So have your calculator handy.
Oh yes. Mine is usually handy, but yes, we talk about that a lot, right? Of just like building that relationship with money. Absolutely. Oh, here's mine right here. Yeah.
And spending time with your numbers, even if you think that there's not enough money coming in. Because it's actually, this avoidance mode is actually why there's not more money flowing in.
Exactly. Oh, you're so right. We were just actually talking on the Bold Vision Circle call yesterday about relationship with time and how it mirrors the relationship, the healthy relationship we need to build with money. And so that intimacy is not a word people talk about. Relationship is one level, but intimacy with money, right? Like really.
I love talking about intimacy because it's kind of like a relationship, right? Like you're not gonna have like the best orgasms with your partner if you never look at him or if you never make any type of contact.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So it's a relationship. You flex this kind of like intimacy muscle. Yeah. And this has to happen on a daily basis.
Absolutely. So you're giving it attention. You're giving it daily attention, right? You can't build a relationship if you're ignoring, someone for days, weeks at a time, right? It's that daily connection and that intimacy, and that's beautiful. And really being in this space of like, letting go of what doesn't serve you, that decluttering practically, or, thinking that doesn't serve you anymore, as well, because you're going to be raising that standard of, what's going through your mind and what you allow and what you don't allow anymore.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then the last one I can share is I started like opening up a conversation with myself from the future. So I would ask her. Yeah. I would let her guide me, inform my decisions, inform my choices, and be, I trust you. And just allowing myself to kind of build this self-coaching relationship from the future.
I love that. Wow. And so it's like as you move forward, it's almost like your future self is drawing your current self, right? They can merge into each other, and then that trust is there.
It's so beautiful because I remember when I joined Quantum Leap, I actually asked her to coach me through this, to coach me through this portal of activation of this next evolution of my journey. And I thought it was going to take, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months. And it actually took like 10 days.
Wow. And
so just collapsing time because I had opened this channel.
You were ready. I mean, you had an amount of internal readiness, I'm sure, from, mindset work you've done before, but you also have to be at that place where you're fully committed to it. Fully committed to it. Not like, okay, I'll try this and see if it helps. It's just like, no, I am, all in on this, where I'm headed, and fully embodying it, right? Fully embodying the present, where you're at, and fully embodying that future self, and really being able to future pace yourself into that energy, right? Oh, that's great.
Not if, it's when.
Yes. Exactly.
I was really in this energy. I was like, no, it's not what if, it's when.
It's powerful. Oh, thank you so much for this conversation, Camille. I want you all to take that away too, and just think about what you want for 2022 and say, oh, it's not if, it's when, and if you can decide, this is what I'm going to do in 2022. This is what I'm going to create. This is, not get too attached to timelines in an unhealthy way, but, I'll step into your July 1st, 2022 self. What do you want her to be? How do you want her to feel? Right? And then just start leaning into that and connecting to that on a daily basis. That's beautiful. Well, thank you for this conversation, Camille. So appreciate it. We had a couple more comments. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for watching. Jennifer Jim, Jennifer, Frank Holy, and some others, I'm sure, that'll catch this replay. And thank you for joining me so much, Camille.
Thank you, Joy, for offering me this opportunity to speak my truth and to share my journey.
Absolutely. It's been a powerful one, and there's so many more good things in the years to come. The ripple effects you're going to have for women in around the world, all around the world. Absolutely. All right. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.